All right, so we're going to have Russ lay down on his stomach. This would be a good time to just do a little warm-up, run through a few vinyasas, something like that, to get your body warmed up and in that yoga mode. And yeah, we're just going to lay down with our head on the mat, forehead touching the mat. You can reach your hands above your head to stretch out. This is a great way to put yourself open to whatever's going to happen, because it's a large variety of things that may happen when we're doing this. If you place your palms up, then you're really, really, really in a position to receive and offer out the best that you have. So it's a great way to start your practice once you've warmed up. We're going to be focusing a little bit on a pose that's commonly known as the Sphinx, which is, similar to Cobra, upward facing dog, a lot of different things, except that we have more pressure points of our body touching the mat. So we're going to go ahead and have you come up to your forearms with your palms flat on the floor. Your tops of your feet are going to be pressing into the floor, and right now that's your only focus. I want you to take your front tops of your feet and press them into the floor as much as you can. On the top surface of the feet, we have a lot of points for the liver, spleen, stomach, urinary bladder, gallbladder. They all run across the surface of the top of the feet. And this just gives, by pressing into those nervous centers, we're just doing a little bit of stimulation and connecting with those organs. Then, as you can relax the top of your feet, relax your feet, and go ahead and press yourself up to what might feel a little like Cobra. So press yourself up off your forearms and rise up off those elbows. And then tuck your belly button to your spine, but let your hips sink into the floor. So we want the bend here to be right here in that lower thoracic rather than just the low lumbar. So just to correct that and be safe for your lower back, and take your heart and your sternum and reach it forward. You can do that by tractioning your hands back a little bit. Find your breath. Now, as you've been practicing, doing so great, come on, Delia. See if you can soften into this and allow your body to extend further as you soften. Remember what that felt like? How awesome that was to find out that softening actually helps you reach farther. And with his shoulders here in Sphinx, we can see, I can see that they're kind of pulling off to the side. So what you want to do is relax out of this, Ross. Bring your elbows a little closer to the side of your body. Pull your hands a little farther out so that you have everything in line. And now push up. And now pull your sternum and your heart forward. And your throat. This is also a great place to be when you feel like you don't have a voice in something. This is a great pose to find it. Ooh. Remember, belly button to your spine. Just gentle. Now soften. And just fall into this pose. Push yourself up, though. You got to be up. Push up.
With that, with my elbows there. That's as far as I can.
Just a quick little note before you continue. I didn't notice that I hadn't made a correction in his posture until after I watched the video. So I have inserted a video with the correction here. If you can make sure this correction is made before the rest of the time you spend in this pose, I think it would help a lot.
I want you to bring a little extra attention to the alignment of the shoulder and the elbow. So, and he's going to actively drag the shoulder blades down the back like we do in Cobra. Yeah. And press up through those forearms. Head back. Belly button to spine. Tops of the feet on the floor. And beautiful. Reconnect with the tops of your feet. Oh my gosh. Talk about Richies. Woo. Okay. Go ahead and soften back down. I'm going to have you add a tool, add something to this so that we can work a little more directly with the digestive system. So come up out of wherever you're at so that you can grab that mat that's rolled up next to you and tuck it directly across your lower abdomen. Find that connection it's basically where your small intestines are. It's going to be right above. Yeah, it's going to be between your belly button and your pubic bone.
And waist, yeah.
Yeah. And now when you get that centered, go ahead and pull yourself back into Phoenix. Now don't worry so much about your elbows, because you might need to come up a little bit harder to put some pressure on there. So get back into Sphinx. Yeah. I might have said Phoenix. It's a totally different thing. Now see if you can soften into that mat. Oh, look at that heart reach forward when you soften. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love yoga. Just be aware of where the tops of your feet are. See if you can get an even surface. Turn your pinky toe side down. Yeah. Get the tops of those feet touching there.
There's still a lot of pressure on my lower back. Like, I need to
you can lower
find that right bit.
Yeah, so bring your elbows in. Get yourself in alignment. Bring your elbows into your sides. Twist your hands out just a tiny bit. Now twist those lids on the hands to bring those shoulders up on the, oh my gosh. Now, belly button too. Yeah. So here's a good thing that happened. I said just go into whatever feels right. Like he started with his elbows out originally. So he went into that place that's common and familiar that's also full of pain. Then we just brought his body into alignment, brought those shoulders up, brought the elbows in, twisted the lids off with his hands, and all of a sudden that pressure is gone from his lower back because his body's in better alignment. You want to find your breath and get a soft here. You're going to notice in this position it's pretty uncomfortable, so you might want to re-engage with that softness as often as necessary. Yeah. You don't even realize you're tensing back up because alignment can be really uncomfortable, and so can healthy things.
No doubt.
And so, as you're breathing, on your exhale, soften your body. Re-engage with that softness and allow your heart to come forward. And again, with every breath, find that softness. It's hard. It's so crazy. You don't even see it creeping back into you. When you need a break, go ahead and pull your tool out. Lay back on your stomach like we started. 5, what's there for you? As this ties to the physiology of movement, we are really talking about some peristaltic movement, some inward movement, and also emotional, spiritual, mental, along with the physical, that can bring us to some ethereal movement here too. So detoxes are great, and a lot of times we go into them with this idea that we're going to lose weight, that we're going to stimulate peristaltic action, that we're going to, start all over. And the fact is that if you're not in tune, you're going to miss out on some of the most amazing benefits of detoxification processes. There's hundreds of different types of detoxes out there. A lot of them nowadays are geared with deep focus on, there's the intermittent fasting. There's a lot of the, lemon, cayenne pepper, that kind of thing, which are all beneficial in so many ways. If you can bring yourself to a place where you're like, I don't just need to change how my body's working. I need to, and be healthier. I need to find alignment in my life. Here comes the physiology of movement. Tying yoga to a lot of these places can better bring about understanding. When you're ready, I'm going to have you do this one more time, Ross, but I'm going to have you place a hard block under your belly. And I'm not going to have you stay in this one for very long. If you already eat fairly healthy, you have a fairly healthy diet that doesn't have a lot of things that you already have peristaltic action, you can probably move into this pose with a little harder. You see how the hips are a little bit more lifted, so for him to push up into Sphinx, it's going to put some intense pressure into some places that are an emotional baggage storing system. Yeah, this pose, you can come out of it now. Also, look where your elbows are and your shoulders, and you can also just lay on the mat like this to stimulate, over a block to stimulate some connection to that solar plexus chakra, to the sacrum, that deep, desirable chakra is found in that sacral chakra. If you're already practicing a lot of these things, you can move up into Sphinx now and then try to soften and let that heart move forward. With Ross, I'm going to keep him here. He did it with his thing. He's just never done a detox before. So when I guide people through detoxes, it's about where they're at. It's not about a standard way to do it, which is why I feel like detox is something that has to be practiced personally, designed for your specific body. And a lot of detoxes don't come that way, and we just move on into them because we read somebody succeeded from this and somebody felt this. It's gonna be different for you from anybody else. There's gonna be familiar, similar reactions, symptoms, feelings, but it is gonna be different for you, which is why I like to work with people closely when they go through detox, so I can kind of like, whoa, yeah, maybe we need to stay here in this place for a while before we move on, or maybe we need to find what gets us moving forward. So anyway, very nice, Russ. Okay, we have one more. Go ahead and come up, and you're going to need a wall for this one. I'm going to have him just move to his other mat that I have placed against the wall, and I'll show you how that works here in just a second. All right, so Ross has moved his mat to a wall lengthwise so that he can have a softer place to lie. If you experience some lower back pain and tightness during Sphinx, this is also a great way to bring alignment back into that spine and relieve some summer. So I do suggest going through these poses in this order so that we can find that. So Ross is going to turn around and he's going to find a way to get his butt cheeks right up against that wall, and his legs are going to extend up the wall. Legs up the wall. Yeah, keep moving, wiggling yourself in. This is really fun. There's other ways to get here, by the way. We're just the space-wise in our space, we don't really have the place. You can lay on your side and move your butt to the wall this way, and then bring your legs up the wall. That's sometimes a lot easier, but in our particular situation, in our space, this is where we're at. This legs up the wall is going to be whatever it is for you the first time. Ross has not done this before with me, and it can be fairly intense. So when you first get here, take a few breaths, like figure out what the hell's going on, and then focus a little bit on the alignment of your spine. So you're going to want to pick your head up and drag the occipital ridge up your mat and allow the back of that throat to move towards the mat. Now, if this is something that you've done before and you're used to detoxing this way, then you know what you're doing and you can stay here as long as you want. With Ross, for him to soften into this, he's probably going to have to do a few things like place his hands across his chest and love himself better a little bit. And then he's going to have to, with each exhale, start to soften into this. Normally I would start working on alignment of the legs, but this being his first time and he's already doing a detox, we're just going to take it easy today. And this is going to be his legs up the wall. Now soften and let your arms come down to your side. Put your palms up to receive whatever you're going to get from this. Also, this helps put when we have our palms up and we're like, it's a receiving position, a pose, but it's also an alignment thing in our body, because how can we accept anything if we're not open to it and we're not in alignment with what's happening? And I suggest staying here as long as you can keep exhaling into softness, which he's really trying so hard to do. Maybe now let your hips relax, let your legs get a little lighter, let them soften. Let those shoulders soften.
I am having a really hard time with that.
I know. And if you're really struggling, so much better, yeah. Give yourself a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, to really try to soften into this. Let things flow from here to your hips. And at any time that you need to readjust and lengthen that spine from the occipital ridge down, you can try that again. And if this is just uncomfortable, I would say come out of it, but the fact is it's a pretty safe place physically. So I would actually ask you to face yourself a little bit and find out why you want out so bad.
Because it's putting pressure on parts of my back that I usually ignore.
Tell me, do.
I usually use my lower back. Most of my back
movement
things. Yeah, okay.
And this is lengthening.
But this is really making me feel like my kidneys and my shoulders. And it doesn't hurt necessarily, but yeah, it's really uncomfortable. And it's hard for me to soften into this one.
Yeah. So practice for a few minutes, softening into this, and know that we get to come back tomorrow and soften into it again, practice again. So that's exciting. So Ross, when you're ready, you can go ahead and tuck your knees into your chest slowly. You can push your feet against the wall, bring those knees to your chest, hug yourself in.
Kidney.
Yeah, water. He's noticing some physical symptoms of something that might be a lifelong habit. He's noticing organs that are like, screw you, when it comes into alignment. And so we want to hug that better. So, just to straighten out those kidneys a tiny bit, we're going to hug ourselves a little bit. When you're ready, roll over to one side and come into child's pose to help tell your kidneys that you love them and that you love yourself. Find some comfort. In child's pose, you notice we have our hands down, our palms into the floor. There's a reason why. With child's pose, it's all about loving ourselves better. Right now, we don't need anything that's coming from the outside. We don't need anything leaving our body, giving and receiving. Right now, it's all about comforting and loving yourself in child's pose. So we keep those palms down. However, we still try to soften with each exhale and love ourselves through that. Ross has the unique benefit and blessing of having to go to work through his detox. So we're going to make sure that we take things a little bit slower, that he doesn't have all that time to love himself better through this whole thing. And it actually helps me a lot to be busy during the prep and during the 3 days of just liquids, because it takes my mind off of a lot of those things that get in my way, like, food. The other things are going to come when they come. And my goal here is to help Ross and myself through this detox, getting the most amount of benefit without injuring or hurting ourselves or taking us back in any way. So as we take you guys along for the ride of our detox, even if you are not doing a liquid detox right now, these particular poses can help bring things into alignment that are the external forces that bring a lot of vritties, a lot of discomfort to our lives. So here's a beginning of it. We're going to be doing a lot of them this week. So, but here's some place to start. So along with your physiology of movement, which actually this week, all of these detox poses, all of these things that can help us move forward and release what we need to let go of, sometimes not necessarily what we want to let go of, are good for us any day of the year. So after you take the time you need, go ahead and bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. For some of us, that's going to entail a perfect moment to do an open-eyed meditation. Today I am going to be doing a Vicky Reed chakra mandala meditation with open eyes, with focus, and also working with some stones and things to give me feel the texture in my hands and the life of the world around me. But yeah, I suggest doing an open-eyed meditation after doing detox poses with yoga. And also during a detoxification, I find that open-eyed meditation is more comforting because it helps me see more clearly by not seeing anything that my eyes are open to. And detoxes are handy that way. So we're going to be developing those tools as we move through this. You're the best.
You're the best.
Okay, have a great day. See you tomorrow for coffee.
If you are interested in a detox program specifically designed for your needs, you can contact me on Instagram at CReffects or on Facebook at CReffects.